Topaz and Numby are releasing soon in Honkai Star Rail, so today we're going to talk about their banner as well as what Topaz and Numby are going to be able to do in their kit to see if they're going to be worth you pulling for. So, starting out with the banner here, so Topaz's banner is going to include the featured 4 stars, Guinaifen, Luka, and Sushang. Now, Guinaifen is going to be a new character, so I'm going to end up giving her own video as well. But just to go over her, pretty surface level to just know what kind of character she is. Guinaifen is going to be more of a DOT character. She's going to have ways to apply burn to the enemy, as well as increase the amount of damage that enemies can take from that as well, which is going to be very good. And I think she's going to be strong for DOT teams mainly. So if you are like me, if you run Kafka a lot, Guinaifen could definitely be a solid pickup. Then next up, Luka. Luka is also a good character for those Kafka DOT teams, as he can apply the physical DOT bleed, as well as if you don't want to run him as a DOT character, you don't have to, because a break effect build for Luka could also prove to be a pretty solid sub DPS character as well. So if you did want that kind of character for a team, then he can be a good option as well. And then lastly, for the banner, we have Sushang, who is definitely a very strong 4-star DPS option. Not really, hitting the attack stats that the 5-star DPSs and like limited DPSs are hitting for. But in terms of a 4-star option, Sushang is still pretty good. So she definitely is, someone you could pick up as well. And it might be a little weird to be advertising a DPS on a banner for a DPS character, but Sushang ends up being more of a traditional DPS, but Topaz is seeming like she's going to have some value even outside of that, which we're going to get into right now with her kit. So, Topaz is a hunt character with the fire element, but it is important to note that she has a focus on follow-up attacks, which is going to be very unique from a lot of hunt characters, because I'm pretty sure every other hunt character in the game is very simply just, we're going to do damage to a single enemy, which is definitely good for those characters, especially Seele being a great character, and Sushang as well being on hunt, Don Hung, so definitely some good options there. But for Topaz, going over her kit here, I want to start with her talent, because I think her talent is the main sort of like crux of what she does. So her talent, whenever she starts the battle, she will summon Numby, and every time Numby takes an action, he'll be able to launch a follow-up attack on one enemy that has the proof of death status. And whenever Topaz is defeated in battle, the Numby will disappear as well. So that's going to lead us a bit into the skill here, which will inflict proof of death on a single target that you choose. And having the proof of death status on a target is going to increase the amount of damage that follow-up attacks are going to do on that target. And also, Numby damages the target. And all of Numby's attacks are considered follow-up attacks as well. So you will be able to benefit from that proof of death follow-up attack increase, which is going to be really nice for doing damage. Then, for the ultimate, this is going to put Numby into the Windfall Bonanza state, which is going to last for 2 actions, for 2 attacks, and it increases the damage that Numby does, as well as his crit damage during the state. And for every time an ally character hits the enemy, whether it's a basic attack, skill, or ultimate, it doesn't matter, Numby's action is going to get advanced, which is really nice. And that's just going to be able to lead you to do even more damage as well. So yeah, definitely the ult being like a buffer kind of ult is very interesting, especially for a hunt character. But I think since Topaz does have the sort of focus on follow-up attacks, more so than just like traditional types of damage dealing, I do think that that kind of ultimate can work and be pretty valuable. And then lastly, her technique, which I honestly think is probably the most unique technique in the game right now. So for Topaz's technique, she'll summon Numby in the overworld, and Numby will be able to find treasures for you. Will be able to, if he encounters a Warp Trotter, the Warp Trotters won't run away. And then when you enter battle with Numby in the overworld, on your first action, Topaz will recover 60 energy, which is going to be very good. officially we don't know what her energy cost is going to be for her ultimate, but even if it's at the average of 120, that's half her energy, which is very good. So you can, more easily get into that windfall bonanza state. And if you use the technique before battle, you will get extra credits for winning the battle, up to a set amount per day. And if you're in the simulated universe, you will also get extra cosmic fragments if you use the technique before battle, and you'll also have a chance of getting a curio as well in addition, which I believe it's a curio. It's either a blessing or a curio. But either way, getting extra, rewards and stuff like that for using this technique is going to be really valuable as well. So, ultimately, I think that Topaz is going to be super valuable because she can either be, your DPS, focusing on her follow-up attacks and getting her as much damage as possible, but she can also kind of work as like a sub-DPS support kind of character for those follow-up attack characters that already exist in the game. Characters like Himeko, Herta, Clara, they're going to be able to benefit a lot from running a Topaz with them, because Topaz is going to be able to increase follow-up damage on the enemies that have the proof of debt status. Now, when it comes to doing actual damage, we'll have to see how much damage Topaz will end up doing. I feel like follow-up attacks tend to be, not as much damage as just like your normal kind of DPSs, like your standard kind of DPSs, which puts us in a very interesting situation because Seele is having a rerun at the exact same time that Topaz's banner is coming out. So players are going to have, or free-to-play players especially, they are going to have to choose between them if they do want to summon during this portion. Now, I do think that if you want a, main damage dealer, like a normal damage dealer, more traditional one, I would probably recommend players go for Jingliu over Seele, unless they really like Seele. But I do think that if you don't want Jingliu, or you already have Jingliu and you want another damage dealer, depending on the situation for your account, Topaz and Numby can be really powerful for you. But if you're not looking for that kind of utility, then Seele might be the better option. I'm going to cover Seele in her own video throughout this week before the Topaz and Seele banners come out. But with that, I'm going to end it off here. If you're interested in seeing more content from me, especially, that Seele video is coming out, or if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. Let me know in the comments down below what you all thought of Topaz and Numby from, 1.4 so far. But with that, I will see you all next time.